Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. I am Subhalakshmi Raut from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation, India, and today we are continuing our second part of Unit 7 about waste management, and we are today going to discuss about the characteristics of solid waste. So let's start. It is very important to understand the characteristics of solid waste because on the basis of these characteristics only we can develop methods for the solid waste management, like on the basis of their weights and moisture content or all those things we can develop the machines which can help to carry and to destroy these waste. So the physical and chemical composition of solid waste, they are very important to know, and they depend on the sources and types of the solid waste. So to actually know about the characteristics of waste, we have to analyze the physical and chemical parameters, like some of the physical and chemical parameters. So the physical and chemical characteristics of waste are like the physical characteristics are density, moisture content, particle size, field capacity or compacted weight, porosity, color, voids, shape of components, optical property, magnetic properties, electric properties. So all these are physical characteristics, and the chemical characteristics are the fusion point of ash or proximate analysis, ultimate analysis, or the energy content. So these are the chemical characteristics of the waste product. Today, mainly we are going to talk about the physical characteristics of solid waste, and mainly we will talk about density, size distribution, and moisture content. But there are also other factors or other characteristics that play a role in determining or selecting any equipment or analyzing disposal facilities of solid waste. So, like color, voids, shape, optical, magnetic, and electric properties. So, these all things also play a role in this designing process for solid waste management. So, first one is density or specific weight. So, everyone knows density is mass per unit volume. So, this is a very important parameter for designing any equipment or disposal method for solid waste management. And as we all know, if the mass of any object is less or their weight is less, then it's easy to carry. So but it should not be liquidy. If the volume is more and mass is less, means liquidy substance, and this that is very difficult to dispose of and very time taking process. So if the density is less, then we have to use other methods, because incineration, if we'll use, it will take a lot of time to reduce the water content or in that waste, and then after losing the water content it will form into ash. It takes a very um, much time which we cannot afford. So we have to take into consideration the density of any waste material to find out how it can be disposed of. So and the density also changes throughout the process of waste management, like when it moves from the sources to disposal site, it gets through several processes of scavenging, wetting, drying, or all those things, and also vibration. Due to vibration also the waste gets compacted sometime, which it gets from during transport. So these all things matter for designing any waste management program. So this is one characteristic of waste. Next is moisture content. We know moisture content is the ratio of the weight of water to the total weight of the wet waste, and the weight of water we get by subtracting um, dry weight from wet weight, because in wet weight we will have the waste material with water, and after drying, the in the dry weight we have only the mass, we don't have water in it, so it's the moisture content. And when we are measuring the dry weight, we actually say it is the weight of the sample after drying at 105 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. So this is the standard. And when if the moisture increases in the waste, then it the size or the weight of the solid waste also increases, and it also increases the cost of collection, transport, or and incineration. All these things it increases due to the increase in moisture in any waste. Now, size. Size and size distribution of the component materials in solid waste are very important, because if we have a regular sized or the size distribution is homogeneous, then we can design the separators and shredders on that thing. And if the size is homogeneous, it can go through the mechanical separation, um, like it can go through trommel screens and magnetic separators. So size is very important in this process, because if the waste are not homogeneous, then their disposal also gets disturbed. So if we are dumping large or big sized objects, then it will take more time to degrade, and the more time it stays in our environment, it will create more problems. So we have to think about size here. Now, field capacity. So for any waste management, we have to take into consideration the field capacity. If we have such a big amount of land where we can dump these waste, and we have to also think about the moisture content in that waste, which will go down toward into the um, deep soil layers, and there it will form a leachate, which is a big problem in landfills, because it mixes with water, and then the water gets contaminated with these materials. So we have to take into consideration the field capacity for waste management. Now, we have permeability of compacted waste. So permeability is also a very important physical factor of solid waste management, because it mainly keeps account of the movement of liquids and gases in the landfill. So if we have a very liquidy waste, then the liquids can easily permeable, and it's very highly permeable, so it will move into the layers of the soil and contaminate the groundwater level. And from that we can have so many diseases that we cannot cure in a very small amount of time. And the permeability mainly depends on the pore size distribution of any material, their surface area and porosity. So next is porosity. It is also a very important physical characteristic of solid waste, because if we have more porous waste, it takes a very large size, then for handling purpose it will be very difficult. And the porous object mainly uh, is that object that has more voids per unit overall volume of the material, and it may carry a very large amount of liquid inside it also. So that may be taken into consideration while designing plan for solid waste management. So some other physical characteristics of solid waste are optical property, magnetic characteristics, and shape. So in case of optical property, here this property is used to separate the opaque materials from the transparent materials like glass and plastic. And based on the magnetic properties of the waste, magnetic separators are designed which will separate the magnetic waste materials from non-magnetic ones. And the next property is shape. So shape is a very important characteristic which is used to separate the flaky substances from the non-flaky ones. So this is all from me today. Thank you for listening to me.